What is up, YouTube? This is Alex back again from Team Generations, here with another deck profile. Today we're going to be looking at Blaus. Super excited to bring this to you guys. I feel like I kind of finally got the lists where I want it to be. I tried some budget options, tried some other things with it. Just kind of feel like this plain and simple build is the best route to take. So, like I said, super excited to bring this to you guys. Without further ado, let's jump right into the deck profile. Alright, starting right off then, I actually wanted to start with Stern Blaukugr, just because he is our main ride target turn after turn. So his skill on Vanguard Circle is during our turn. If we have a Blaukugr in our soul, all of our grade 3 units with Blau in their card names get an additional 10,000, so that additional 10,000 is pretty free, it's pretty awesome. I really like that. It helps powerful attacks if you have multiple Blaus on the field, so really dig that. Additionally, his second skill is on Vanguard Circle. At the end of battle it attacks, we can discard 2 cards from our hand, choose a Galaxy Blaukugr on our rearguard circle, bind it and ride that card as stand, and that unit gets -1 drive until the end of turn. So it enables another Vanguard swing, kind of like another multi-attack. And the reason they put the bind there, I believe, they just didn't want any of the trigger effects to carry over to a new Vanguard once ridden, so correct me if I'm wrong or whatever your idea on that is. But yeah, super effective card. It's nice that it gives that 10,000 out to the entire field with anything in their Blaus in their card name, so very, very nice. We do want to ride it turn after turn. And then next up, as you could probably guess, these are the only grade 3s that I am running in this deck. This is another 4 copies of Galaxy Blaukugr. So its skill on Vanguard Circles during our turn, just like Stern Blaukugr. During our turn, if we have a Blaukugr in our soul, all of our grade 3 units with Blau in their card names get an additional 10,000. So making for really nice columns with that free skill. On Vanguard Circle, its second skill is that when it attacks, we get to counterblast 1 and call up to 1 Stern Blaukugr from our soul to rearguard circle. So we basically just went from riding him, putting him into, binding him, putting him on top, and then when he attacks, we pop him out. And the nice thing about this wording too is that it's when it attacks. So if you do hit a front trigger or anything like that, it does actually go on to the Blaukugr when it's popped out from soul. Its second skill also is when rode upon by a unit with Blau in its card name, you may call this card to rearguard circle. You're essentially enabling yourself to, if you have a Stern Blaukugr in hand, turn after turn, pretty much to just always have one of these guys out on field if you successfully did that combo the turn before. I'm going to go into some test hands afterwards just to kind of show you the multi-attack potential of this deck. Really, really devastating. I dig it. I really, really have a great time with this deck. If you like accel decks, I mean, this will be right up your alley. It is high aggro, high multi-attacks, super, super pressure. So yeah, like I said, those are the only grade 3s we are running, and now I'm moving into the grade 2s. No surprise here, we're running 4 Blaukugrs. Its skill on Vanguard Circle is when placed, we can counterblast 1, look at 7 cards from the top of our deck, reveal up to 1 card with Blau in its card name from among them, and put it into our hand and shuffle our deck. At the end of turn, the battle it attacked. At the end of the battle attack, sorry, if you have a Vanguard with Blau in its card name, you can put this unit into our soul and draw a card. So let's say that we did, you know, ride a grade 3 Blau the turn before. If we didn't have him in our soul and then we somehow found him like on a drive check, whatever it is, you can then pop him into soul just to get your turn to be a little bit more aggressive with that additional 10k. So I like that skill and your soul fixing there. Moving on then to our next grade 2, we are running 4 of these oldie but goldies. This is for Kick Typhoon. Now unfortunately this card is not really lending itself to become a budget deck. I tried running some budget options in general, just did not work out as well. I found that we really do need Kick and some of the other money cards in this deck, so I'm not going to label this deck a budget deck, unfortunately. So this guy is Kick Typhoon. His skill on Van or Rear is when placed. If this unit is on Van or additional rearguard circle, one of our units gets an additional 5,000 to the end of turn. This helps us a lot hitting some magic numbers if you assign it to, let's say, a Blaukugr that you plan on restanding over and over. And you could do that by using his second skill on rearguard circle once per turn. When it attacks, if all rearguard circles have rearguards, we can counterblast 1 and stand one of our other rear guards. So I just want to make a quick note of the attack timing with this guy, and I'm sure I'll show you in the demonstration video a little bit later in my practice hand. But this guy, if you have a Galaxy Blaukugr on the fields, just remember that you have to have all units in your front row. all the rear guard circles in your front row be filled. So Stern Blau Cougar pops him back with the re-ride an additional accel marker. So you want to make sure you attack with this guy first, attack with him to restand him, and then you put him into soul and create that second accel marker, because if you create that second accel marker, obviously you'll have an open slot. You cannot use his restand ability, which is unfortunate, but that is kind of how the attack chain goes, so it is what it is. Yeah, running him at 4 I think it's a super necessary card. Next up, this is 4 of Cool Hank. This is a new card that came out of the newest set. His skill on Vanguard circles, when it attacks, we get the Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. So a little bit of just draw pressure there. It's really nice just to be able to get an extra card in our hand, maybe search for some of those key Blaus that we really need. And its second skill, this is the main reason why we really use it, is once per turn, when it attacks, we can discard a card from our hand and stand one of our other rear guards. So again, if you've powered up one of your Blau units and you want to make it just attack over and over, there's so many different ways in this deck to do that, and this guy definitely helps enable it. We don't really want to ride him. We always want to ride a Blau Cougar just for the searching ability and the ability to have all your grade 3s proc that extra 10k, but still a solid card. I think it definitely deserves a spot in this build, and I'm running it at a 4 as a result. Moving on to our grade 1s then. We are definitely looking to have ride consistency and get our right ride target. So to achieve this, we are looking to play Extreme Battler Arashid, I think I'm saying that right. On rearguard circle, if a unit was stood by a card's ability this turn, this gets that extra 5,000. So not a super easy condition up until around like grade 3. You can get it on your grade 2 turn, but kind of weak in terms of going live early game. So nothing too crazy there. Its second skill, I'm sure everybody knows, but when placed from hand, look at 5 cards on top of your deck, reveal a grade 3. If you put one into your hand, you get to drop a card from your hand. So a little bit of filtering there, a little bit of searching. Deck thinning is deck winning, and we definitely do rely on our grade 3s in here. So I am running it at a 4. I know it's not really a budget card, but I think it just lends itself to being the most optimal choice in this lineup. Next up for our grade 1s, as you could probably guess, we are running 4 Blau Panzer. This guy's skill is when placed from riding a Blau Cougar, which is actually reversed. This is actually, what was it? It's from Blau Junger, however you want to pronounce it. So that is a typo that they made that has been eroded. When placed by riding that Blau Junger, look at 5 cards on top of our deck, reveal one with Blau in its card name from among them, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Now this is really nice because you can fix your ride chain. If you don't have a Blau, there's a Blau Cougar in your hand, you can actually search for him off of this card and really fix your grade 2 ride chain, which is nice. So I definitely think this card is awesome. If you have that in culmination with this on your first grade 1 turn, or your only grade 1 turn, I think it's just really powerful for searching, getting those grade 3s out of your deck or whatever necessary Blau units that you do use. So its second skill is also when placed, discard a trigger from our hands and search our deck for up to 1 grade 3 with Blau in its card name, reveal it and put it into our hand and shuffle our deck. So if we really need Stern Blau Cougar, if this guy's on rearguard circle, we can do this, discard that trigger if we have it, and the searching potential out of this deck for quote unquote a budget deck or a sub archetype within the set is really awesome. I mean, top 7 off of Blau Cougar, top 5 off of Blau Panzer, really consistent. I find very easy to get that off and very powerful. Our next grade 1 is this guy over here. It's his Morgenrot. Its skill on rearguard circle at the end of turn. We can retire this unit, return one of our rearguards with Blau and its card name to our hand. So this is important because if we don't have another Stern Blau Cougar in our hand, like when we rerode the Galaxy Blau Cougar, we have the Stern out on rearguard circle, wherever that may be. This will kind of enable us to retire itself and then bounce it to hand so that we do have the ride target for next turn. We can then pop this guy out and continue the pain train. So yeah, I think it's definitely a worthy card. If you want to, you can probably drop like one of these. I prefer to see it just when I need to, just to really fix and make sure my turns are as aggressive as possible every single turn, but it's not incorrect to maybe drop 1 or even 2 of those. So yeah, and then our last card, this is just a really open slot. You can choose whatever you really want for this, but I'm choosing to run one of these. This is Starfighter Silver Fist. This skill on Van or Rear is we get to increase the front trigger effects revealed for your drive check by 5,000. So this helps us, this basically, like if we hit a front trigger, basically makes all of our accel 2s into accel 1s, just helps us hit really nice power thresholds. Like let's say I have a Galaxy Blau Cougar, or yeah, Galaxy Blau Cougar on a accel 2 circle, or whoever it is, whatever Blau, grade 3 Blau, that goes from a 27 on an accel 2, and then it would become, with the front trigger, it'd be 37 with this guy right here. It would be, what was that, 42 then. So really nice to be able to hit those numbers. Not a super necessary card, but if we do see it and we do have its effect go off, I find that this is like a win more card rather than a win condition card. So just as a one of, I think it's pretty useful. It's cool art. I like that's triple rare also. So and then going into our trigger lineup, as we saw before, we are running one Blau Vanguard. We are running 4 heals, no surprise there. We are running actually 8 fronts. I'm not running crits in this deck. We are running 4, yep. And then 4 draw sentinels. So this over here, I just felt that with the amount of multi-attacking that we are doing in this deck, I found that it's beneficial to have these front triggers really power up your units. On top of that too, if your opponent hits a defensive trigger, yeah, our Blaus get powered up, but if you don't have all Blau rear guards like the Kick or Hank, I find that front triggers help them get over those defensive triggers that our opponent might hit. It just gives our field a bit more pressure. So we are attacking a ton of times. I mean, my first grade 3 ride, if you get it off successfully, I think you're getting like 7 attacks on that first turn. You just benefit more from that front trigger, so that's why I'm running it. It's not incorrect, I don't think, to run crits, but all in all, I really do like the fronts a bit more. When I play tested it, I find more success. It's harder and just for your opponent to stop these overwhelming turns once you hit them, so nice. If you guys are enjoying the content so far, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button and leaving a like on this video. Helps us out, lets us know that you like this content, you want more of it, and more of it will be brought to you. We also have a victor profile coming up. So without further ado, let's hop right into a test hand and I'll show you how this deck works. Alright, let us shuffle up our deck over here and get into it. Like I was kind of mentioning before, I am disappointed that this deck needed some of the pass support to make itself as optimal as possible. But it is what it is. I know some of these cards are money cards. Not everyone's going to do that. And the previous sub-archetypes within the latest sets to come out have really maintained their budget kind of idea. This guy doesn't seem to do that, but it is what it is. Whatever. No biggie. Everyone loves their Blaus. I'm sure people are willing to pay that premium. If you have a deck list, though, without some of the money cards, please feel free to leave it below. I am very interested in seeing what people are running. So I'm running terrible hand overall. You get nice grade 2s. We do have a grade 3. I kind of want one more grade 3, but since I have these 2 searchers right here, I don't think I'm going to drop anything from my hand to kind of get that. And we have our ideal first grade 3 ride, so let's just go into it. I am going to assume that we go first, as we do on all of our test videos. I'm going to ride him, draw. Oh wow, look at that, we did find him. I'm also going to use his skill. Look at the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Find a Blau, card with Blau in its card name. I'm going to use the Galaxy Black Cougar. Shuffle up, shuffle up. Alright, let's get into it. And then over to our opponent, right? I don't have the grade 3 searcher now. And then we're going to take a damage for their turn. Now it's our turn, stand and draw. We are going to ride, where is he? There he is. This is just regular Blau Cougar. We're going to use his skill. When placed, counterblast 1. I'm going to search the top 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to find a card with Blau in its card name. We got another Galaxy Black Cougar. Look at that. Searching potential in this deck is nice. Alright, and I could be a little bit more aggressive here. You know what? I'm going to search for one more blast and I have this. See if I can get another Stern in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, it's okay. No biggie. I'm just going to move him forward then and then poke at our opponent with our 8k. It is not a 13k again. Need something to restand to get that. Could use some of these other grade 2s in my hand, but I really want to get off a nice grade 3 turn, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move him up. I'm going to swing. Let's drive check. Boom. Front. Very nice. Over to our opponent. Let's say we took 2 damage. 1 and 2. Power and draw. Let's say that shut them off. Alright, now it's our turn again. We do want to go into Stern Blau Cougar first. I am going to go accel 2. I like accel 2 in this deck, just the hand size is nice, and the ability to draw off of that. So let's see, who do I want to place? I'm going to place him here. I'm going to move this guy back. Do I have any other grade 1 Blaus? No. What do I want to do? Let us call down Kick Typhoon. Let us call Galaxy Blau Cougar down. And then let's proceed with our turn. I'm going to hold these other Blaus and the other guy till next turn where we can get a nice multitude of multi-attacks. So let's first swing with Galaxy Blau Cougar. Then we are going to swing with him. Again, we have to swing with him before we do this re-ride combo, just because it will generate an extra accel circle. So all of our front row rear guard circles won't be filled up at that point. So kick does go next. We're going to counterblast one, and I'm going to restand him. There we go. And then I'm going to swing again. Then I'm going to swing with Stern Blau Cougar. This guy is 22. One. I'm going to give power over here, let's say. I'm going to draw. It's 2. Alright, cool. And then at the end of our battle phase, I'm going to discard 2 cards. What cards do I want to discard? Let's discard 1. And sorry, I need this really. It is a Blau. Let's discard one of him. Alright. And then I'm going to bind this guy, and then I'm going to re-ride him. Going to then draw off accel 2. And yeah, let us swing with him next. Just 1. Boom. Oh, I forgot to counterblast 1. And we're going to pop Stern out from Soul. No trigger there, so nobody was affected there. And then swing, pass turn. As you can see, I mean, this was a really crazy multi-attack turn. Let's see, I forgot if I had Morganrot in my hand beforehand. If I did, I should have just bounced that Stern Blau Cougar back to my hand. But let's see if I draw into it over to our opponent. Let's assume we take 1. Oof. 2. Let's start to guard out now. Just, let's see. Let us... Let's guard. Let's say we guarded. I kind of want to hold on to this guy. Yeah. Look at this. We don't need another Galaxy Blau Cougar really. PG, let's just say we live the turn, whatever for... Yeah, whatever. Let's just say we live the turn. I'm going to stand and draw. Please be a Stern. Oh my god, look at that. Wow. You cannot make it up. I mean... I'm pretty sure I'm leaving this video live pretty much the whole time. Maybe I'll cut like 1 or 2 little seconds, but I did not read that, I promise. We're going to ride him. Get another cell circle. That is a draw of destiny. Wow. There we go. I wish I had that luck during regular games. Alright, let's call him. Let's call all of our Blaus just because they do get all of our grade 3 Blaus, sorry. The thing. What do I want to call? Let's call him. Oh yeah, our Galaxy Blau Cougar does pop out of Soul when ridden upon. So that is another one. I was like, wait a minute. I think I'm good. Alright, let's do that. Cool. And let's proceed with our turn then. So let me think about this for a second. So we are going to swing with 1, swing with 2. When it attacks, his skill is, so I think it does get the +5. We counterblasted him, restood him, swing again. I think now, yeah, we're going to use him. I'm just going to swing 1, 2, did it front, very nice. Front trigger. There we go, we'll just my hand over here. I'm going to use his skill then, discard 2 cards from my hand. I'm going to discard kick, and discard this Blau. I'm going to bind him, re-ride, generate another accel marker. Now he doesn't get that +10k, but everybody else does, so that's fine. And then I'm going to swing with him, pop him out by counterblasting 1. Yep. Call up to 1. Yep. There we go. Now let's do our drive check. Let's see, another front. No other front, but still pretty powerful overall. And then swing with your most powerful Blau. Let's actually say it's him because he saw that front. And then we're going to swing with this guy. We're going to discard a card from our hand and then restand one of our powerful Blaus. Boom, do it again, and just attack with everybody else on board. So you guys can see really the crazy potential of this deck. If you do get that ride chain off successfully, you have those Blaus in your hand. this deck is crazy. Your opponent really has to hit those defensive triggers because you are multi-attacking so many different times. So I hope you guys did enjoy this, and if you did learn something, like I said, please consider leaving a subscription and a like on this video. It really helps us out, lets us know that you like this content and want to see more of it. Anything else that you guys want to request to see, feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the deck. Am I running anything that's incorrect? Do you think there's any other optimal cards to be running in here? Let me know what you think. So thank you guys so much for watching, and this is Alex from Team Generations signing out.